talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
BetUS and North American Talk Radio have partnered to bring you the preferred betting platform in the United States, and you will get a deposit bonus of up to 150% if you use promo code 120Z. Take it from me, I'm a cowboy and a gambler. I wrangle my bets on BetUS, and I use the promo code 120Z to get free money. Yee-haw! That's BetUS and promo code 120Z. Now giddy up.
Oh, Daddy's a little disheveled. I'll explain why here in a minute. Beck's Banter live on North American Talk Radio. It's a beautiful Wednesday. Hump day, as the old DJs say. Thanks for tuning in. I'm glad to be here. If you're listening on YouTube, and you can also watch on YouTube, because I started a little wrinkle this week where I put a little tiny camera in the corner just to keep you entertained. I know we got to keep the troops entertained. You'll see I turned the camera on late. Well, Daddy, as I call myself, was setting up a dinner date for Saturday night with a beautiful woman, and I was a little disheveled, just a little disheveled, just because, I was excited, very excited. I'm very excited to have you here. Wednesday, we have a full slate of topics. If you want to text or call the show, 330-800-4219. All comments are welcome. I like the interaction. Or sit back and relax. I do an hour, Monday through Thursday, and I enjoy doing the hour, so you don't have to feel obligated to chime in. If you're listening on Streameast, Simple Radio, radio.net, welcome. If you're listening on the website, natalkradio.com or .us, there is a chat function on the website too. I should probably bring that up in case anybody chats on there. But you do need to make a profile, which is free, so don't stress over that. Other than that, we're on YouTube Live at North American Talk Radio, and you can catch the replays on Spotify. I think that's enough promotion. Let's get into what I didn't get into last night, because I did have a caller. I'm glad he called in, but I didn't, and it's my fault. I pushed the topic to the end of the show, and I ran out of time. That's often what happens. I'm just Beck's Banter. It could be also called Beck Rambles. But this Michigan thing won't go away. And as an Ohio State fan, I'm not asking it. It doesn't bother me. Okay? We didn't cheat. We didn't steal signals. And you can argue till the cows come home. Michigan doesn't seem to be arguing. Some of them are, right? But they self-imposed penalties last year on Sharon Moore. They scrubbed cell phones. Usually you don't do that unless you did something wrong. Okay? And now it comes out that there was an internal whistleblower, a mole, if you will. And it turns out that the mole may or may not have, I don't know if this is even verified, transferred to Ohio State. Okay, I'm going to act like this is exclusive to Michigan fans, but really in reality, I'm an Ohio State fan. I'm a realist, okay? Not to sound like a woman in her 40s with cats, because they all say that. But I'm looking at it with reality. I know when Ohio State got in trouble with Jim Tressel, we were in denial too. Okay, but there were problems with that infraction. But we got a much bigger penalty. There's other schools that got much bigger penalties than Michigan got. And we're being told they cheated. They had an unfair advantage. They did things in a scouting way that were illegal. Okay, so that happened. Okay, so this whistleblower transfers to Ohio State, and these crazy fans at Michigan think somehow that means that Ohio State's been playing an ineligible player. It's not the case. Like, people, you can be a fan and make your decisions, your commentary with a little bit of logic, all right? With a little bit of humility. Sports is turning into a little bit of politics. everything's the end. If the other side did it, it's the end of the world. If our side did it, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, Ohio State's not vacating wins because the whistleblower may or may not be on their roster now. It's just not going to happen. So you guys can keep, and then they keep trying to say, okay, now this means we didn't break any rules. No, you did. Just because the whistleblower lied about a few things, including an assistant coach, position coach, whatever, doesn't mean the actual infraction didn't happen. But this is what sports does to people. They lose their minds. That's why Justin Spiro, he goes on Twitter yesterday. I'll try to get this, out quick so I'm not sitting here reading the whole time. And he said, why am I supposed to care about a whistleblower whose worst alleged crimes, in quotation, are improperly accessing materials obtained improperly in the first place? Okay, so he got materials from the coaching staff that he wasn't welcome to. Information he wasn't supposed to be privy to. Does that eliminate the cheating? No. Okay. He accurately reported a cheating scandal to the proper authorities. Does that, because he ratted them out, does that mean they didn't create or commit the infractions? No. Okay? 2 for 2, they still are guilty. Number 3, recording a conversation without permission. This guy says it's completely legal. Michigan is a single-party consent state. Ohio is not, last I checked. That doesn't negate. Okay, so he recorded somebody without them knowing. Does that mean they didn't cheat? No. So we're 3 for 3 now. Number 4, telling an unspecified lie about a staffer who Michigan fired on their own. So he lied, Michigan fired the guy. Does that take away Michigan's infraction? No. It might make him a bad guy in your eyes. It doesn't mean Ohio State is now playing an ineligible player. There's been no accusations outside of Michigan on this player. So this guy says, at most, Chris Partridge is the plaintiff in a lawsuit listing Michigan as the primary defendant. Connor Stallions calls the cops to report improper access to his improperly accessed materials. And I'm supposed to believe this is a Buckeye cheating scandal now. You people are all crazy. And I get it. I'm going to be fair. If the shoe was on the other foot, Ohio State fans would be crazy. Can we just stop being so damn crazy? They cheated. You can hate the whistleblower. It doesn't negate what your team did. There's a reason why your coach ran for the Chargers, got the hell out of college. Because a few short years before that, he was talking like he never wanted to leave Michigan. He was home. He was where he wanted to be at the level he wanted to be. He had some good times in the NFL, some bad times in the NFL. Michigan was where he wanted to be. He realized his system wasn't working. He made drastic changes under the cover of darkness, did some things unethical. Somebody listed him as the most crooked coach in NCAA history when you list out all his infractions. And he abandoned Michigan. You guys should be more mad at Harbaugh than you are the whistleblower. And you should feel bad a little bit for Sharon Moore, even though he did scrub his cell phone. I'm guessing he was told to. So that's what I wanted to talk about yesterday. Fans, and again, I'm not just taking Michigan fans are known as some of the most delusional people, but I'm old enough to know Ohio State fans are the same. Alabama fans are still the same. I mean, Florida State fans are still in denial that they should have been in the playoffs. They got beat by 60 in their bowl game. They still think should they have been in the playoffs? Maybe. They weren't going to win anything, though. So would you rather get embarrassed in a bowl game where you can say nobody cared, or get embarrassed in the first round of the playoffs? At the end of the day, folks, you're just fans. The only people embarrassed by losses or mad about being left out of the playoffs should probably be the coaching staff and the players. I get it. Fans, you need something, right? You need something. To quote Louis C.K., what life is wall-to-wall shit, so, you want some good news. You want your teams to do good. But sports makes us crazy, and it's getting as bad as politics. Now, this was interesting. We're going to stay in college football. And yes, if you haven't listened to the show and it's your first time, it's Beck's Banter. It's not Beck's perfect segues. I just go off for an hour unless somebody texts the show, 330-800-4219, or calls in. Otherwise, I just go off until each break. And I hope you enjoy it. And this show will get better. It'll get better. I'm a little rusty. I haven't been on the radio in a few years. I saw college athletes are suing the NCAA over the red shirt rule. They're pushing for expanded eligibility. Just another byproduct of NIL. Now these guys never want to leave campus, right? What was the movie Dangerfield was in? He goes Back to School, I think it's called. These guys just want to live on campus now. Hey, I'm making $1 million a year in NIL. I want 8 years of eligibility. It's not going to, it can't happen. It may happen. But attorney Ryan Dalton said 5 years to practice, 5 years graduate, 5 years to play. So they're saying if you're allowing people to take a redshirt year and they can be in school for 5 years and they can practice all 5 years, because most redshirts, folks, I have news for you, aren't injuries. Sometimes they're development years. So they're saying if all these players are getting red shirts just to develop and practice, why are we even doing this? Why don't we just give guys 5 years eligibility to play? That way, halfway through the season, if, we need this freshman now, we don't have to pull them off a title of red shirt or whatever. It's his first year of eligibility. Now we need him. We play him. I think they think it's clearing the air. I think they think it's clearing up the water. But what do they say? Give a little power, it never comes back, and they want more. It's going to turn into, now they're going to want 6 years because you have gray shirts. Gray shirts, red shirts. Gray shirt is an injury-based, I believe. I don't know if this one's going to go through. But you remember we had Northwestern a few years ago. We're going to start a union. They didn't have benefits. We had the big thing about the video games. They're getting everything. This is soon going to become, and I predicted this. I know I'm not going to break my arm patting myself on the back, but I predicted this 7 years ago. I saw the writing on the wall. It might even be longer ago. Well, it wasn't when Jim Tressel went through all that heat, but like 7 or 8 years ago, I said, eventually, we're going to have another tier of football somewhere in between Division I and NFL. We're just going to call it college football because we're playing on campuses. But they're going to get paid. They're going to have benefits. It's going to be extended playing periods. And we're getting there. Northwestern was the first to start a union, or at least talks of starting a union. Players get paid for the video game. Players get salaries now. They can transfer every year. We just talked about a quarterback that's on his 6th school in like 5 or 6 years. So buckle up. If you're I'm a huge college. I still love college football. It's not the same. It doesn't have the folklore in my mind that it used to have, but I still love it. I think the reason I love it, though, because technically speaking, okay, the XFL, the USFL, wherever the hell it's called now, technically speaking, those are pound for pound better teams than what we watch on an average college day. The Western Illinois game, we're getting a call. North American Talk Radio, you're live on the air. Who are we talking to?
Man, this is Sean from out here in Oklahoma. I heard Beck's voice come on the radio, start talking college football, and said, I cannot leave him alone in this.
I love it. Go ahead.
Man, I want to ask you a question. So yesterday I called you, hit you up about Nebraska. Now, in the era of full disclosure, I will tell you that I am a Texas Longhorn through and through, down to the fact that I drive a burnt orange Camaro. I got orange everything right here in the heart of Sooner country. My defiance is golden.
Okay.
Now, but I'm calling to talk to you about the Sooners because I absorb a lot of OU content because I live here. I want to talk to you a little bit, if you don't mind, about John Mateer. You know, Jackson Arnold last year was interesting watching his maturation and then his backslide, if you will. And I think a lot of that had to be attributed to what, you know, at SEC Media Days, Coach said that he had a serviceable line. And, you know, you think, okay, you know, these boys are going to be all right. In the end, they were quite porous up front. And so in watching Mateer, and obviously, you know, they've made some changes and all of that, I want to know, and I know we saw a very vanilla outing from Oklahoma. I feel like they didn't uncork the good stuff on Saturday. But with what we saw, with his moxie, with his air, with what he did, I want to know, if you don't mind, what are your thoughts on John Mateer? And I believe he's tied for fourth on Heisman watch at this point. Well, my boy Archie done fell out, but, you know, that is what it is. Do you think that that is a positive? Because I'm concerned that my man Archie, real fast, because I'm going to take this off the air, I'm concerned that my man Archie may have drank the poison tea, as I like to call it around here. You know, you hear how great you are over the summer. You hear how amazing that you're going to be, all this good stuff. You're in all these different ads. Next thing you know, after a few sips, you're, here we go, and things don't work out. And that's one of my concerns. I know we as Texas fans, we are fickle. And, you know, that is something that I'm hearing from Longhorn Nation. But, hey, I have got to go. I look forward to listening to what you have to say about all that, brother, because you are definitely a college football czar. We'll talk to you next time.
You are the man. Thanks for calling in. Oh, I love that guy. Okay. I'm sold on that guy. That's my favorite listener. Sorry to the rest of you. You can try to beat him, but that's my favorite listener. And you know what? He is right. And I'm going to make this a little bit personal about myself. And I wondered, Mr. Pryor, when you called yesterday, when you brought up Nebraska, I won't out you, but I see your zip or your area code. And I was like, is he really a Nebraska fan? But, so I'm going to tie this into me a little bit. Archie probably did buy in to all the hype a little bit. Okay. And we heard that he got really confused by the defense. We see his high school highlights. He wasn't really playing that kind of competition, but people build him up. And it reminds me of coming out of high school, and I was the freshman recruit going to Mount Union, which is now, you know, known as the 15-time national champion. And I had this ego, and I got humbled real quick. And, you know, it breaks your spirit. So, yeah, I think Archie bought into the hype. I think that maybe gave him some blinded confidence. I also think, if I'm going to be honest, and you know what? Deep down, Sean, the caller, I do kind of root for Texas now. I'd like to see them make the playoff. I do like that they're in the SEC, maybe humble some of these SEC teams. So I am kind of rooting for you now. But, yeah, I think the Archie situation, he was blown out of proportion. Mateer's probably jumped him. But there's good news for you. I think people of his caliber typically bounce back. He's been drug right back into reality and said, okay, I have work to do. Our team has work to do. I'm not as good as all these talking heads on the TV are saying I am. I got shut down. And he didn't have terrible stats. I mean, his completion percentage was garbage, but so that happened to Archie. Is it going to happen to Mateer? Well, Mateer had other issues. He was being built up, and then he was being accused and under investigation for maybe gambling. I still say 2 weeks ago on the air, I said I think he's guilty. Nobody puts on Venmo, this is a gambling debt for UCLA versus USC, the morning after they actually played and said, oh, it's an inside joke. Maybe it was. I don't know. And John Mateer had the benefit of getting his feet wet at Oklahoma. And he played at Washington State before that, but he had the benefit of playing a week one cupcake. Okay, and they only won 35-3. But if you look at Mateer's numbers, 30 of 37, 392 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did throw an interception, but he had a quarterback rating of 191.4. And again, he didn't play anywhere near the quality. Now, you Texas fans, rejoice. Oklahoma's going to have a similar situation this weekend that Texas had last weekend. They're going to play a tough Michigan defense. I think they're tough. They gave up 17 to New Mexico. They're usually tougher than that. So we'll find out what Mateer's made of. But as a Texas fan, I don't want you to worry too much. I was telling people, some sports fans, if you're going to lose, there was a lot of top 25 teams that had great losses in week 1. We know through history you have a lot of time to recover. You lost to another top 10 team by a touchdown or less. That's not a bad loss. That's actually maybe best case scenario for Texas and Archie Manning. Again, Archie Manning just got an eye-opener. He just got his real litmus test. He didn't hear Skip Bayless or Colin Cowherd during the game. He heard the defense say, you're not ready. And that should, guys at this level, fire them up and make them work harder. So that's the good news for Texas. All right? Your original question is, what do I think of John Mateer? I think John Mateer's got moxie. I think he's a little more flashier than Archie Manning. He's in the right system that he needs to be in. But we're going to find out because Oklahoma, a lot of times, are early season posers. All right? And they didn't really overwhelm anybody against Illinois State. They really didn't. 35-3, they got shut out in the third quarter. But John Mateer did nothing wrong in that game. So we'll see. We'll see. I love that caller. What a great voice, too. I hope he's on the air somewhere. But I love that question. I love that non sequitur. I was going to go into, I said Skip Bayless, and I think it's because my next topic has to do with Skip. So we remember the big, things going on in Fox that maybe the female host was sleeping around. Shannon Sharp was mentioned. But Skip Bayless was also mentioned that he propositioned this woman, something to the tune of $1 million for sex. Skip, first of all, you got no game, you got no looks if you have to offer that kind of money for a little bit of action. But of course, everybody denies it. Well, he settled. And Miss Dixon and Bayless are no longer with Fox, but they settled out of court. That was breaking news today. Yahoo Sports had some bangers today with breaking news. We're going to get into the other ones too. But Skip Bayless settled. Thank you for the call. I'm going to take a quick break. I need a little sip of my sparkling water and a little hit of my nicotine. Yes, it's nicotine. You got to clarify that these days. Woo, I love it. Beck's Banter. I always get a little adrenaline rush when somebody calls or texts. So if you're listening out there, you need to follow suit. 330-800-4219. Other than that, this is Beck's Banter on North American Talk Radio. Give me 2. I'll be right back.
Want tickets for less while helping grassroots radio? Well, at North American Talk Radio, we've partnered with a top ticketing platform to give our listeners the best prices to all the best events. Whether it's a concert, theater performance, or a sporting event, North American Talk Radio has you covered. Go to natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu. That's natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu. Watch all your favorite events in person. That's natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Are you ready to place bets? Join MyBookie today and discover exciting opportunities, North American Talk Radio has partnered with the cutting-edge gambling platform to offer unique bets, several ways to play and win, and you can even use crypto to play. MyBookie offers a seamless platform for all your gambling needs, and MyBookie has you covered with a vast array of options. Explore their different markets and bet types. There's something for everyone. Discover MyBookie's special introductory offer by using North American Talk Radio's special promo code, which is 120Z Sports, all caps, no spaces, and you'll get a deposit bonus up to $1,000. MyBookie offers a thrilling experience, so sign up today and be sure to use the promo code 120Z Sports, all caps, no spaces, for huge cash bonuses. Get in the game and good luck.
BetUS and North American Talk Radio have partnered to bring you the preferred betting platform in the United States, and you will get a deposit bonus of up to 150% if you use promo code 120Z. Take it from me, I'm a cowboy and a gambler. I wrangle my bets on BetUS, and I use the promo code 120Z to get free money. Yee-haw! That's BetUS and promo code 120Z. Now giddy up.
We're back. Beck's Banter live. North American Talk Radio, Mondays through Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My co-host let me know, my new co-host on Thursdays let me know, hey, Beck, I'm going to start, let's just start next week. Can't rely on good help. That's okay. We'll get him in the studio here in the near future, and I'll have somebody to back and forth. He and I do a good back and forth, and then you don't get tired of my voice by about minute 50. We had another write-in question. I think it's a really good question as well. Brent Venables, he's the Oklahoma coach. He made himself the defensive coordinator. The writer asked, do I think he can do both 100% and not find himself in the hot seat dichotomy, if you will? Now, I love that question because, and again, I don't mean to make everything about myself, but I've been a coordinator before. I've been a head coach before. And I'll tell you, I don't like when head coaches try both. We've seen it in the NFL. It's backfired. You could say maybe it's a little easier in college, but I don't think it is, right? Head coaches are oftentimes, I don't know if it was Saban or Urban Meyer that said, it's like being a CEO. So imagine the CEO is also trying to run his own or her own little department. I don't think you could do that. If you're going to be the head coach, you have to trust other, and Venables is a great defensive mind, but he has to know that there's other great young defensive minds with new ideas that maybe work better, right? So I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's a good combination. I really don't, because again, you have to oversee the whole team. So when your team's on offense and you're trying to scheme or adjust with your defense, you're not actually being the head coach at that time. So I just don't think it's a good mix. I think, and I know what he's thinking. I'm the defensive mind here. I did a bang-up job at Clemson. I want to be in control, but you wanted to be a head coach too. So sometimes you have to relinquish a little bit of control, and you have to trust in your assistants. You're the head coach, so you get to choose your assistant. They can pretty much mimic what you do, and you're still the head coach with the headset on, so you can weigh in on things. No, this is not a good time to blitz. But to run the whole defense, just in theory, takes you away from your head coaching duties, not only during the game, but you recruit basically year-round, right? The PR, all the things that go into being head coach. So something's going to lack when lacks when you're trying to do both. Either you're going to pay less attention to the defense and more to the head coaching duties, or less of the head coaching duties and more on the defense. One way or another, you can't do both 100%. It's just physically impossible and mentally impossible. So I think you may see that change in the near future, especially if they start to struggle in one of those areas. But I see why he's doing it. I feel like Sean's been listening to the show for weeks, because I said on a recent show, but it was a week or two ago, coaching does kind of bring out the ego in men, and they sometimes think they can do it all. You have to trust in your staff. So that's another great question. One thing that's not great is when your baseball team is the worst baseball team in the major leagues, right? And your season has been over essentially for weeks, and there's still 30 games, 25 games to go. Maybe don't get in fights just because a guy stares down his home run. Okay, that's what happened in the Rockies-Giants game. Okay, the Rockies took exception to a home run that Dyers stood and watched. Can I put this in perspective for you? The Colorado Rockies are 39-100, and I love the caption. I love the caption. This is the most fight the Rockies have shown in 7 years. Okay? Why are you getting in bench clearing brawls now? You're 39-100. And the guy admired his home run. This is 2025, not 1960. Okay? You feel shown up because he stood there and watched his home run? Maybe the guy's proud of himself. Okay? If he takes too long, the ump will say something, but you're going to start a fist fight over it? And you have a negative 362 run differential? Possibly the worst run differential that I've ever seen in my life? And now you want to get in fist fights. Embarrassing stuff from Colorado. And Colorado's just taken a beating lately on and off the field. I saw they put out Major League Baseball Stadium beer prices, and the Rockies were the lowest beer price, and somebody chimed in, yeah, because they know you got to be drunk as bleep to sit through those games. Okay? Truer words couldn't have been spoken. I had this one as a fan write-in. They wanted me to play this. Stephen A. Smith. Now, love him or hate him, I know he's trying to get into politics. They've given him huge raises while they've laid other people off. I'm indifferent. I mean, I recognize his greatness. I recognize that he's built a huge brand for himself. He's gone on Bill Maher and CNN, and he pretty much runs ESPN. So love him or hate him, you have to admire that he's built himself into his own individual empire. But he got called out by Cam Newton. And this is an interesting answer, okay? We're going to play this soundbite. I love this. Cam Newton, okay, he brings the heat. Here we go.
You a question, Stephen A.
I'm heat.
When you was after there getting your big bag, and you was getting your mignon, and you was getting your corn, your mozzarella cheese provolone. Was that not you looking at after your best interest? You know that Pepper Jack.
Hold on, let me laugh. Hold on, let me laugh. Hold on, allow me to laugh first. Not answer your question. I mean,
you got some money on. I'm saying.
Whoa. Let me answer the question.
I'm going to give you a little backstory on this. I should have given you a little backstory if you haven't seen this. They were talking about Dak Prescott saying he was glad a solution was reached with the Parsons trade. And Stephen A. had kind of hinted maybe Dak could have, eased up on some of his demands so they'd have extra money to keep Parsons. And Cam Newton's like, wait a minute. When you were getting all this money, all this cheddar, were you looking out for your colleagues at ESPN, or were you looking out for number one? Here's Stephen A.'s answer.
Ask the question, let me answer it. Yes, I got my mignon, no doubt about that. No problem. There's plenty of people throughout ESPN's history I have helped get theirs. And anybody who would challenge what the hell I just said to you on national television, they better beware. They better not utter that publicly. Because I can tell you, and I didn't say one. I said many. And by the way, Cam Newton, while you're doing that, you can ask the bosses themselves. Plenty of times, spanning my 20-plus years here. Look at the roster. Look at the people here. Look at the diversity on the air. Oh, trust me, I will proudly stand up on a banner and say, I got a little something to do with that. Because there's plenty of people that I have fought for over the years. That has never, ever changed.
Okay, now the one problem I had with that, okay, and I don't know. I'm not inside. Maybe Stephen A does have a lot to do with people having a career there, and maybe he does look out for others. All I know is he got this huge raise. He's on almost every show, and they laid off a ton of talent. But he's boasting about diversity. I think most of us can agree diversity is great. But is it the diversity that led to having people on that don't know who Barry Sanders is? Right? Doesn't know the difference between a Barry Sanders Lions jersey and a Shador Sanders Browns jersey? Is that what he's talking about? So that was great back and forth there, and good for Cam Newton. Some people are afraid to call Stephen A out. He's very animated. He's very opinionated. He could embarrass anybody on the air. That was a great question, but the only problem I had with that, because I don't know, I'd take Stephen A for his word. Maybe he has looked out for other people. But when he started bragging about diversity, I didn't really think of race. I thought of a lot of females, and I'm thinking, it was just a female that saw a celebrity on with a Lions jersey, number 20, that said Sanders on it, and she thought it was a Shador Sanders jersey. Like, how did you get on a sports network? You should probably know the difference. People in Alabama, do I have a common theme here about fans being crazy? They've already got the odds out. This is from 104.5 ESPN. I think, let me open that in a new tab. I think it's an Alabama station. Oh, no, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. They already have the odds out for the next Alabama coach. They've pretty much put Kalen DeBoer in a coffin. It's over. Okay? And you had people like Whitlock. I mean, close your kids' ears if you're going to get offended. Jason Whitlock had a YouTube, said Alabama's too gay to be good. Like, what? Because they're dancing on TikTok. Like, people, okay, they're underperforming with Kalen DeBoer. We get it, right? But we also have, like, A.J. McCarron saying they only have $20 million for NIL. We were talking about this at the office. Alabama is known for football. But if their former great football players aren't donating, like Kansas just had a $300 million donation for the sports programs, but it was a huge financial advisor. Like, I don't know what kind of educational institution Alabama is, but I don't think they're really known for anything. So I don't know how many big donors they have. So let's give Kalen DeBoer a minute. And it's easy for me to say I'm not an Alabama fan, but it's so serious. And we're early in his career at Alabama. It's so serious that we have odds of who's going to be the next Alabama coach. Tommy Rees, coordinator for the Browns, plus 300. Glenn Schumann, I guess, is a coordinator for Georgia, plus 400. I don't think it'd be either one of those. The name that caught my eyes, well, Deion Sanders, plus 800. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I think Alabama has a certain type of coach they're looking for. Would Deion be great anywhere he goes? I don't know. I love Deion. I just don't, I'm not sold on him now. Last year I thought, oh, he's going to do great things. I heard they had all these players come in. He had all these linemen committing, and then they laid a dud week one. The name that caught my eye is Lane Kiffin, plus 500. I don't know. I don't know if Lane would leave. I think he had a problem with Saban. But I think that would be a job that I feel like Lane Kiffin would want badly. So we'll see. I like that they had Jimbo Fisher on there at plus 1,200. The logo next to him is Sirius. Then they got John Gruden. The logo is Barstool. Yeah, okay. I don't think either of them. Lane Kiffin, that's where I'd put my money at MyBookie. Promo code 12OZ Sports, all caps, no spaces, plus 500. Feels like Lane Kiffin's got just the ego needed to want to take that job. And I said this last year, or when Saban retired. I think Kalen DeBoer's making a mistake. I don't want to be the guy that follows a legend. I want to be the guy that followed the legend. And I think we're finding that out now. Those are hard shoes to fill. Let somebody else fail. It sounds terrible to say. Let somebody else fail, and then you swoop in. Lane Kiffin, that's where I'd put my money. They're already talking about it. We're 1 week in, folks. You remember the clip I played last night of Michael Wilbon on ESPN when he said, "Can we stop overreacting?" We're 1 week in. We're 1 week in. People talking about Archie sucks. Kalen DeBoer is going to get fired. LSU's going to win the title. 1 week in. You got to love it. I love sports. This is why I love sports. Kawhi Leonard. This is a weird story. And I got a text. I got to pull up the graphic from the text I noticed earlier. It turns out, I'm going to try to break this down. I skimmed it. I had a busy day. But I think I have the gist of it. It appears that the Clippers have been circumventing the salary cap. And there was breaking news everywhere. I said Yahoo Sports had a lot of bangers today. They weren't the only ones that broke this. I don't know who's first. I'm not into that thing. I'm not a big, bleep waving guy, measuring, whatever they say. But somebody broke it. This broke. Kawhi Leonard reportedly signed a $28 million endorsement deal for a no-show job with a fraudulent tree planting company funded by $50 million from Clippers owner Steve Ballmer. And the inside source said it was to circumvent the salary cap. This is serious, right? This is serious. And the text I got, that whatever tweet I marked there is gone. So I don't know. They had to take it down. Oh, I think it was the penalties. That's the one I wanted to read. So the NBA is investigating allegations involving the Clippers' free agent pursuit of Leonard following a December 2020 lawsuit filed by a man named Johnny Wilkes, who alleged that he helped the Clippers acquire Leonard in exchange for $2.5 million payment from the Clippers consultant Jerry West. Clippers denied it, of course. Everybody denies. Nobody admits. Leonard, 34, most recently signed a 3-year, $153 million deal in January of 24 to remain under contract with the Clippers. The Clippers are also fighting a 2024 lawsuit by former strength and conditioning coach Randy Shelton, who sued the team and president of basketball operations, alleging wrongful termination in part for raising concerns about the management of Leonard's health and injuries. It appears that the Clippers are committing major infractions to juke the stats, stay under the salary cap. And I don't know why this tweet was taken down, but that comes with severe penalties. So the Clippers could be in some serious trouble. And I'm not going to find the tweet, and I'm not going to look for it all day. But, they lose draft picks. There's all kinds of problems. Now, this is... Okay, there's a lot out now. You can find a ton of it. But that was the huge news today. The Clippers may be doing something pretty crazy. And more's going to break out. We'll talk about it on the show going forward. But wow. So now I wonder, with these billionaire owners, does this happen more than we think? I don't know. I would have to think this happens a lot more than maybe we think. Whew. I'm not drained, but I'm going to need to get a sip of water. But before I do, Danny Hurley is drained. Another report came out today, Yahoo Sports. Again, they're on top of it today. Okay, we're going to give Yahoo their flowers. Okay? Loud. That was loud. Yahoo Sports writers were busy today. Well, this was broke by the Athletic. I thought the Athletic was dead, by the way. I thought they were hemorrhaging money. How do these companies stay in business? UConn head coach Danny Hurley considered stepping down after last season due to the emotional drain of trying to win 3 straight national championships, according to a new book co-authored by Hurley. Here's my take before I take a break. Okay? You can say that, right? there's coaches that have won titles that don't seem to age, and then some seem to age like presidents. Okay? I think it's just built into his DNA. But I would say to Danny Hurley, as a licensed counselor, if it's killing you, it's not worth it. So maybe you should have stepped down. It's not the end of the world, right? You got more money than you can ever dream of. If it's killing you, get out, right? People will get over it. UConn will bounce back. You're not the first famous coach there. But, I mean, people were calling him a clown. And I think emotional maturity of a 10-year-old, that was one of my fellow Purdue fans. I mean, he is pretty, I think he brings a lot of the stress on himself. You can see it in the way he carries himself on the sideline. But that was breaking news. So we will keep an eye building up to college basketball. Does Danny Hurley call it? We may have a legend, back-to-back champion, stepping down. We'll see. I feel like if he's talking about it, though, he's going to keep coaching. Maybe he just wants a little sympathy. I don't know. I don't want any sympathy. I just want you to stick around. 2 minutes. I'll be back. Final segment. Beck's Banter. If you're listening, you're looking for something to do tomorrow, don't forget, Thursdays is my build a parlay. We're doing pretty good this year. Georgia killed me last week. That's all right. Don't forget, last segment, you can call or text 330-800-4219, Beck's Banner, live on North American Talk Radio, Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be back.
Want tickets for less while helping grassroots radio? Well, at North American Talk Radio, we've partnered with a top ticketing platform to give our listeners the best prices to all the best events. Whether it's a concert, theater performance, or a sporting event, North American Talk Radio has you covered. Go to natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu. That's natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu. Watch all your favorite events in person. That's natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Are you ready to place bets? Join MyBookie today and discover exciting opportunities. North American Talk Radio has partnered with the cutting-edge gambling platform to offer unique bets, several ways to play and win, and you can even use crypto to play. MyBookie offers a seamless platform for all your gambling needs, and MyBookie has you covered with a vast array of options. Explore their different markets and bet types. There's something for everyone. Discover MyBookie's special introductory offer by using North American Talk Radio's special promo code, which is 120Z Sports, all caps, no spaces, and you'll get a deposit bonus up to $1,000. MyBookie offers a thrilling experience, so sign up today and be sure to use the promo code 120Z Sports, all caps, no spaces, for huge cash bonuses. Get in the game and good luck.
BetUS and North American Talk Radio have partnered to bring you the preferred betting platform in the United States, and you will get a deposit bonus of up to 150% if you use promo code 120Z. Take it from me, I'm a cowboy and a gambler. I wrangle my bets on BetUS, and I use the promo code 120Z to get free money. Yee-haw! That's BetUS and promo code 120Z. Now giddy up.
We're back. Final segment, Beck's Banner, live, North American Talk Radio. Appreciate you listening. Appreciate our caller, our write-in. Always a good time. It's hump day. I don't know what that means. Not everybody works Monday through Friday. But if you do, it's hump day. And if you have been paying attention, there's a little bit of a fight between two college coaches and a Nike logo. I got two college coaches and a Nike logo. Nothing. That doesn't work. I got nothing. Wah, wah. Where's my soundbite? There we go. So apparently, Mike Gundy said Oregon spent $40 million on their roster, much higher than the $7 million Oklahoma State has over the past 3 years. And then Dan Lanning, being Dan Lanning, wasn't going to listen to that and not say anything back. Okay. So he said, yeah, we spend to win. Some people save money just to have an excuse. Wow. Okay, shots fired. All right, and they play. They play this Saturday at 3:30. So Mike Gundy, the mullet, he's not going to sit back and, not say anything. I mean, the caption here says the drama continues and a picture of a popcorn, a bucket of popcorn. Mike Gundy on his radio show, we need to get him on North American Talk Radio, says we're considering covering up our Nike logos with duct tape on Saturday. I'm just not interested in that pay-to-win stuff that they got going on over there, so why would I support it? Well, Coach, if you can't beat them, join them, right? Win in Rome. How many other sayings do you have? This is the times. If you don't like it, move to a different level. It's probably coming to a high school near you. I mean, the next step of NIL, well, do they have it at Division III where I played? I don't know. But you only beat Tennessee Martin 27-7, Coach. Okay? Tennessee Martin. Oregon beat Montana State 59-13. Of course, Oregon got to the quarters last year before they got rickrolled by the Buckeyes. We got a little battle of words. Interesting. It might be a little icy in pregame. Might be a little icy during warm-ups. I can't wait for that one. Saturday at 3:30. That's on CBS. So a little war of the words between coaches and the Nike logo and the Nike money. Of course, Nike founder is an Oregon guy, and they have like 12 jerseys a season. So good for them. We're down against it. We might not get to too many standings. So we probably won't get to the U.S. Open. I'm watching Osaka in the background here in the women's quarters, trying to get to the semis. I was wondering, and it's probably a little late to ask the audience, but I'm just going to tell you what I was wondering out loud. Is Novak already considered the GOAT? I think he is. Full disclosure, he's my favorite tennis player. Or does he need to win another major? Because he's made it to the Final Four now in the U.S. Open. But I was talking to my lady friend before the show, the call that got me disheveled because, we got a nice dinner date scheduled 5 minutes before the show. So the adrenaline was pumping. But we were talking, and, as much as we love Novak, I don't know if he gets to the final. And if he does, he's got to go against Alcaraz and then probably Sinner, right? Or if Musetti upsets Sinner tonight. But I think he's already the GOAT, all right? I would love to know what tennis fans think. Novak's stats, we'll bring it up right. Career stats is Wikipedia. I went to college. They didn't consider Wikipedia an actual source. So I don't know if this is up to date. He's won 24 Grand Slams. It's amazing, right? 100 total wins. Amazing. He's 38. It's almost over, right? He holds the record for the most Grand Slams, 24. He's won 100 ATP Tour titles, including all 9 ATP Masters 1000 events, multiple times. And he's held the number one ranking for a record number of weeks. I think he's already the GOAT. But the topic is, will he be forever solidified as the GOAT? Because we have some young up-and-comers that are young. Alcaraz is young. Alcaraz is very young. I'm going to look at his age. Because Novak is 38. Alcaraz is 22. He has 16 years to catch up. So he's got 5 major titles. He's way behind, right? He's way behind. He's won 5 majors. Is that up to date, I wonder? He has 5 Grand Slams. He's only 19 away. He's probably not going to get that, right? Interesting. I don't know. I think he's probably already the GOAT, I'm curious, if tennis fans hear this on replay on Spotify or YouTube, or you're listening live now, you don't have time to text the show 330-800-4219. Hit me up tomorrow. I wonder if he's already the GOAT or does he need to get another major? I think he already is the GOAT. Opposite of GOAT talk is illegal stream talk. Another Yahoo Sports breaking news. Yeah, kudos to them. I can't thank them enough for all these breaking news topics tonight because it gives me a lot to talk about. Streameast. Now, another guy on North American Talk Radio had to tell me Streameast is actually the premier place to go for illegal streams. I'm a paying customer. I don't get illegal streams. Yeah, you get older, less risk. But he told me, I thought it was cracked streams. I had heard somebody say that. Apparently that's not the big one. Streameast was the big one. They had 1.6 billion combined visits over just the past year. 1.6 billion. I can't imagine the Google AdSense revenue they generated, right? They were the world's largest illegal sports streaming platform. They've been shut down after a year-long investigation. The network of 80 unauthorized domains. Wow. They provided free access to global sports fixtures such as Premier League, Champions League, NFL, NBA, and MLB. They've been shut down, but they did tweet, which is interesting. They did seem... I'm going to pull real quick. I have time. I feel like they tweeted out that they're not down. And now, of course, the internet's the internet. Now everybody's putting things out. Here's where you can watch other ones. It's big business. You got a little tongue-tied there. Anyway, Streameast for now is dead. So you folks, you may have to pay for cable subscriptions in the red zone. And oh, do I have more breaking news. We're going to close with a Yahoo Sports breaking news. I told you they were busy today. Scott Hansen of the NFL Red Zone confirmed today that the red zone, this is going to make me lose my mind, will have commercials. That was the whole point of the red zone to begin with. And oh, you can imagine the videos on Twitter today of this is going to be the red zone this year. And they're showing the Hail Mary from the Redskins. And right before he catches the Hail Mary, they cut to a Burger King commercial. What are you doing? I told you a week or two ago, ESPN's going to ruin the red zone. And now we're going to have commercials. And Scott Hansen claims you're not going to miss any touchdowns. I don't want to see him on replay. I can watch the highlights all day long. I watch the highlights all night long, waiting for the Sunday night game to start. I want to see it in real time. I'm a degenerate that plays fantasy football. The red zone's not supposed to have commercials. If you're listening, I beg you to make the commercials like racing and sometimes golf and sometimes other sports, soccer do, and keep the action on the screen and make the commercial a little square or a ticker. Please don't. You guys want us to pay so much money for these things. That's the whole point of the $39.99 a month, is I don't have to sit for 4 minutes waiting to watch football again. That's the whole reason you charge. ESPN, Prize Picks. This is a huge company, Prize Picks. A huge gambling platform. Hundreds of thousands of followers. And they tweeted 6 hours ago, ESPN is already ruining Red Zone. Already doing it. Who could have saw it? That's why they're called the Evil Empire. And they're not going to lower the price, folks. They're not going to lower the price of the Red Zone. They're just going to shove Burger King commercials down your throat. And we're going to love it. I hope you love this show. I'm out. Beck's Banter. I'll be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, build a parlay. We're going to get back in the winning ways. I'm not going to take 38.5-point lines this time. Georgia only won by 38. I'm forever mad at them. I forever love you. Thanks to our caller. Thanks to our write-ins. I'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Other than that, enjoy your hump day. Peace.